Great rising, great rising. We are deep into fall, deep into autumn, and falling into winter. The days are shorter and shorter. I thought it would be nice to walk through the labyrinth, journey through the labyrinth at St. John's. If you can see the center of the labyrinth, imagine that the center of the labyrinth is your center within, that sanctuary at your center. There are all different methods for meditation. We always think of meditation meaning that we have to sit still in lotus position like yogis or sadhus or other ancient holy men, or even modern holy men and women. But it's really not true. Every breath you take can be a meditation. Walking meditation, even washing the dishes. Taking each step with intention and paying attention, either to the minute details of what's around you, or being attentive and placing your attention. Beautiful crow. I love crows. Paying attention to what is going on the inside of you. Walking the labyrinth, I find it to be very soothing, a very beautiful experience. I just dropped my little one off at the bus stop, and when we lived closer to the labyrinth, meaning just a couple of doors down, we would go every evening to the labyrinth. And at this point, we're not too far from it either. We could still do that. And we'd walk it together, only he would run. He would speed through the labyrinth. And I used to try to stop him. I'm like, no, this is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. You need to slow down. And then eventually I came to my senses and realized, hey, that's not how I would do it. But he is enjoying this process. So allow him to enjoy the process, how he needs to for his constitution and his body, which was speed and very momentous energy. And for old mom here, it was, being slow and slowing down and taking in. So that's sort of like the saying in Buddhism that there are 84,000 paths to the Dharma, 84,000 paths for awakening. And no, it doesn't actually mean that there's 84,000 paths. Actually, there's 1 billion paths. There's 7 billion paths. Why is that? Because there's 7 billion people, approximately, on this planet. And we all have different makeups. Yes, we're, 99% similar in our genetics. But, as we read from the Tao Te Ching last night, the Tao's influence and the Day's influence, the energy, the virtues. We all have different virtues and different energies, different methods and modes of doing things. Here we go, right to the center. And as you enter into the labyrinth, enter into that space within, you're learning to let go of all of the extemporaneous, outside of you, all of those influences, and only focusing on the inner landscape. I always say that the mind is the final frontier, and the mind being the energy of who we are, the mind that influences the brain. So here we are. As you're journeying into the labyrinth, all of the outside things are dropping away. And then once you've reached the center of your being, it's where you sit or stand, focusing on your breath, focusing on the space, and allowing what is available to come to you, to speak to you, to move you. I'm sure if you did a Google search for local labyrinths, make sure you have your location on, or search your city. You never know. This particular labyrinth is behind a local church. But I think I might do, because I know the woman who is the secretary. She's a friend of mine. I will ask her if she knows the history of this particular labyrinth, and I'll try to share it. But this is in rural Pennsylvania, and this is a Pennsylvania German heritage cemetery. You can see some of the gravestones. You see the gravestones? It kind of looks like the ones that you would buy at the store for Halloween, you know, those styrofoam cutout, because these gravestones are from the 1700s. So as always, I encourage all of us to make sure that we get out into nature, take time to touch Mother Earth, our mother. She centers and grounds us. She energizes us. She forgives us. I encourage you to get out into nature, to get in touch with yourself. I encourage you and myself, because just remember, you know, I'm on this journey as well. I encourage all of us to be mindful of our holy trinity of self, using our conscious mind to guard, to protect ourselves, to protect our subconscious. Because remember, our subconscious mind is sort of like it's an infant. It's like a 3-year-old that just absorbs information, and it doesn't distinguish whether or not that information is beneficial to us or if it's detrimental to us. And when we use our conscious mind to guard, you know, what we choose to watch on the nightly news, what sort of entertainment, which entertainment is really entrainment. And what is entrainment? Is where you have, you know, 1 or 2 items, individuals, entities, whatever, and one is vibrating at a stronger frequency than the other. And then eventually, because that one frequency is stronger than the other frequency, all of them will begin to entrain, will begin to come into sync with the stronger frequency. So for instance, when you're watching horror movies and the not just the gore and violence on the screen, but the sound effects, the music, all of that serves to entrain a certain emotion, a very strong emotion. And if that emotion is fear and terror, you're being entrained to the emotion of fear and terror. And although your conscious mind knows that this is fake, your subconscious mind doesn't know that those strong, terrifying emotions are not fake. And how can that play out in your life? Well, it can play out in your life as, people might all of a sudden, as they're going through their day, come down with a bout of anxiety and have no idea where it came from. Or they can have nightmares. Not necessarily the same night they watch the horror movie, but, another time. So not just horror movies, but, negative news, social media, because if we're using our conscious mind to guard our subconscious mind, it's, it makes it that much easier to manifest and to create the things that we actually want rather than the things that we dread. And then the third part of the Holy Trinity of Self is your superconscious mind. Using your conscious mind to tap in to the superconscious mind by the methods of consciously making a decision to establish a meditation routine. And as you sit in stillness and in meditation, you're able to tap into that superconscious mind, which is your higher self, which is that spark of divinity that has all of the wisdom and knowledge that you need for yourself, which is your God self, which is God, source. Some of us use the word God just because that's just the word we use. No, we're not talking about some man sitting on a throne somewhere. No, source, energy, universal consciousness, that which upholds the universes and dimensions and all of that stuff we're still trying to grasp. So I encourage you to keep your vibration high, to allow yourself to feel emotions when they come through you. And just remember that this is all temporary. That includes happiness, sorrow, all of that. So I wish all of you peace and great bliss. I encourage you to please remember to like this video. Please like this video. It helps with the algorithms. And please share this video. Invite your friends to the channel. If you have any questions or any suggestions for topics, please, reach out and contact me. And if I take a few days to respond, please be okay with that. Because sometimes life can get very busy for me. It's okay if you're late. It's all relative. The awesome thing is there is an archive, so when you come to my channel, you just click the video tab and you can see all the videos that were there. So I wish all of you a beautiful day. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to have compassion for yourself. I wish you peace and great bliss, and I think I'll probably be on later this afternoon or evening. Please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button. Thank you.